So today we're going to add integers, okay, or signed numbers. Eventually, whatever rule we learn right now will be also applied to non-integers with signs. Okay, check this out. The number line. Okay, we know the number line. We've studied that. Positive. I'm using the blue lines for positive. Think of positive as moving to the right. To the right. Moving to the right is positive. And negative numbers are moving to the left. To the left, right? To the left that way. Okay, so remember that. Adding same numbers with opposite sign. I think we've studied this before. So suppose you have to add positive 3 plus negative 3. Start always at 0. I repeat that. Always begin from 0. That's your starting point. Okay. Start by doing the positive 3. This one, positive 3. So that will move this way. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then negative 3 moves on to the other way because it's negative to the left. And then where am I now? I'm back to 0. Okay, take note of that. So the answer is 0. Now let's do negative 9 to the left, positive 9 to the right. Again, we're back to 0. Negative 4 to the left, and then positive 4 to the right. Again, we're back to 0. Okay, positive to the right, and then negative 5 to the left, back to 0. Am I wasting my time doing this? It's the same number. I'm just adding them, but the other one's the opposite. Think of a rule. Correct. You got the rule. Let's now make a generalization. What happens when we add two the same numbers with opposite sign? Adding one's opposite will always result to 0. So don't be scared with a big number, negative 3,400. Okay, add it to its opposite, positive 3,400. Okay, don't be scared at it. The answer will always be 0. Adding the opposite. Now, we will be adding integers with the same sign. Same signs. Check these problems. So let's start with a positive 3. Positive 3, we know, move to the right. Okay, positive because I'm using the blue. That's the positive 3. Okay, and then another positive 4. So again, another part goes to the right again. Now 4 times. So this is the positive 4. 4 times again to the right. So where am I now? I am now at positive 7. Obviously, we've been dealing with positive numbers in the past. So the answers are always positive. Now let's try another example. Let's start with a positive 2, 1, 2, and then 8 to the right. So we are now at, this is now 10. Okay, correct. Now let's do the negatives. Remember, they have to have the same signs. So let's now do the negatives. So start with the number line negative 4. This is your negative 4, all right, to the left because it's negative. And then another negative added that goes to the left again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take note, we're counting the spaces. So where are we now? We are now at negative 9. Take note of the answers and look for patterns. Okay, for the next one, negative 1 goes to the left again, plus a negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are now at negative 6. Okay, the answer is negative 6. Look for the patterns now, guys. How do you add integers of the same sign, both positive and both negative? Right? Think of your generalization or write it in the message board or in the chat room. So these were the results of our previous addition in a number line. So we thought of the rule now, everybody. What happened to the absolute values? Again, think of the absolute values. What happened to the absolute value is the distance from 0. Think of the lines. What happened to the lines? A positive line and the negative line. Because take note, absolute value is the distance from 0. Okay, what happens to the lines? The line 3 and the line 4, something like that. Then we simply added them. 3 and 4 is a 7. That's the absolute value. 2 and 8 is the 10, all right? And then for the negative value, don't think of the signs yet. 4 and 5 is a 9, okay? 1 and 5 is a 6. So after adding them, how did we determine the sign? Who gets the positive and who gets the negative? Correct. We copied the common sign. If the common sign is negative, it's still a negative. If the common sign is a positive, it's still a positive. All right. So write it down. For same signs, you add the absolute value, then copy the common sign. Clear? All right. Try this. Pause. Okay, ready. Answers. Positive 16. Positive 32. Yes, it's negative because they're both negatives. Yes, and the last one. Correct. Good job. Now, this is the challenge. What if the other one's positive and the other one's negative? What will I do? Now, these are our examples. Let's start with a positive 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Some kids, by the way, cannot make straight lines. They make skips. Skips are also allowed. But for now, we're using straight lines. Again, with the arrow. So positive to the right and then negative now. We're adding a negative. Hold on, let's write this down. This is the positive 3, the one in blue. Since negative goes to the left, check it out. I'll begin with 3. I won't begin at 0 anymore. I continue from where I left off. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the negative. Okay? The red one is the negative. So where am I now? I am now at negative 1. So the answer is negative 1. Okay, got it? Positive moving to the right. Continue then to the left. Try the next one. Now let's start with a negative 2. Negative move to the left, correct? 1, 2. And then I move next to the right with a positive 8. 1, 2. So from that 2, you use that 2 again and go back to 0. And then add another 6. There you go. The answer is positive 6. Okay? Positive 6. Try the next one. Negative 4 to the left, negative 4, because that's a negative. And then I will now do the positive 5, 5 places to the right. I move to the other side. Okay. And the last one, the answer, of course, is positive 1. The next one starts with a positive 1. Then to the left, I am now at negative 4. Check out our answers. By the way, before we make some generalization, take note of this space. What happens to this? Look at this. They are overlapping lines, right? Can you see those overlapping lines? Guess what? They cancel out each other. Those overlapping lines cancel out each other, and we're just using what? The extra length of the line. These overlapping lines cancel out each other. Think of an operation. When you cancel out each other, you just need the extra. What's that? Okay? So now let's analyze our answers. From here, what happened to the absolute values? Okay, just think of the numbers. What happened to the lines? Did the lines add up or what? So think of the number only. 3 and 4, what happened? It became a 1. 2 and 8 became a 6. Oh, that's the extra one, Ram. Yes. 4 and 5 is the extra one, 1. 1 and 5 is the extra one, 4. Remember, they are canceling out each other, and you just need the extra length of the longer line. So what did we do? Yes, correct. We subtracted those numbers. But question, Ram, how will I know if it's a positive or negative? Dang. Remember, one line is longer than the other. How would you know who gets the negative or the positive? Write your observation. How will you know? Write in the comment, write in the chat. Yes, you get the sign of the longer line. The longer line determines what? The longer absolute value determines the sign. Okay? we copy the sign of the higher absolute value, or in short, the longer line. Okay, so generalization. For different signs, subtract the absolute value, then copy the sign of the higher absolute value. In short, you could say subtract the lines and get the sign of the longer line. Okay, here we go. Longer absolute value. Now, try to add the following. Pause, and here are the answers. Correct. Good job. Yes, right? Correct. All right. Did you get it all correct? Oh my gosh, you're so smart. Now, this is a mixed practice. Try to answer this on your own. Write it in a scrap paper, pause, and when you're ready, here are the answers. Here we go. Oh, this is a challenge. Okay. If there's a parenthesis, what do I do? Yes, I do this one first. So, what will happen to negative 19 and positive 11? One is longer than the other. So, you could write the partial answer of negative 8. Then, you can now add the negative 3. They're both negatives, therefore negative 11. Same thing on the other one. Do the partial answer for 32. Then add the negative 32. You're back to 0. Okay? The last one. Okay, did you get it right? And the last one. All right. So what's your score? Good job.